Prices in the shop have increased by 20%. The price of a shirt used to be £30. What is the new price? To do this, as we've seen before, we would work out 20% of the shirt in terms of price. So we know 10% of the price is going to be 10% of £30, which is £3. So 20% of the price is going to be £6, double £3. So to work out the new price, we do £30 plus £6, which is £36. We've been told the percentage we're increasing by, and we want the increased value. But what if we were asked to work out by what percentage 30 has been increased by to get 36? That's what percentage change is. And to do this, you'd work out the change and then work out this change as a percentage of the original amount. Now, the price of the shirt was originally £30, so that's the original amount. The change is 36 take away 30, which is 6, so we need 6 as a percentage of 30. In our non-calculator exam, you would just say, well, 6 out of 30 simplifies to a fifth, which is 20%. And if you don't know that, you could times the bottom, 5, you could times that by 20 to get 100, and you would have to times the top by 20. So you'd have 20 out of 100, 20%. With a calculator, we would do it another way, which we'll consider very shortly. Let's look at some non-calculator examples. In A, we want to calculate the percentage increase when £80 is increased to £120. To do this, I'm going to work out the change over the original and change this into a percentage. So the change is going to be 120 take away 80, that's what we're changing by. And the original amount was £80 because we started with £80. This is going to be 40 over 80, which simplifies to a half. So we've actually increased by 50%. So we would say the percentage increase is 50%. For B, when £200 is decreased to 150, we again work out the change over the original and we change that into a percentage. So we have 200 take away 150 over the original amount. Well, the original amount this time was £200 because it's being decreased to 150. 200 take away 150 is 50. This is out of 200. We can cancel these zeros on the end, so we have 5 over 20, which will simplify to 1 over 4, which is 25%. So we can say here the percentage decrease was 25%. Now, for the second part, for these questions, Kelly makes cakes. She makes a cake for 60p and sells it for £3. We want to calculate her percentage profit, which is a very, very common GCSE question. If she makes a cake for 60p and sells it for £3, you can think of £3 as 300 pence. So to work out the change over the original, we need to do 300 pence take away 60 pence because the units have got to be the same, over, now the original amount, we consider that to be the cost for her to make a cake, which is 60p. Because we want to work out her profit as a percentage of her costs. So we do 300 take away 60 over 60. 300 take away 60 is 240. So we have 240 over 60, which will simplify down to 4. Now you might think, oh, the answer is 4%, but this is 4 as a fraction. So to change this to a percentage, you would need to times by 100%, which would give you 400% percentage profit. Basically, the profit is 400% of the loss or the cost to Kelly, which is only 60p. For D, John makes smoothies. He makes a smoothie for 80p and sells them for £2.40. We're doing the same thing. I'm going to say 240p, take away 80p, over, again, the original is going to be 80p. So we have 160 over 80. And this simplifies down to 2. So to change this to a percentage, I times by 100%, which will give me 200% percentage profit. Here are some questions for you to try. Please pause the video now and have a go at them, and when you're ready for the answers, press play. These are the answers. Now, you should have 25% and then 50%. Now remember, the first one's a decrease, so the original was 240, and the second one was an increase, so the original was 320. Very often, this question will come up on a calculator paper, and in that case, you can just use the formula in this blue box. Change over original, and then you times by 100%. So to work out the percentage increase from £55 is increased to £72, we work out the change in the value, so the difference between them. The original is 55, so we're going to calculate that and then times it by 100%. So on a modern calculator, you could just use the fraction button, do 72 take away 55 over 55, go to the right and type 100, and that gives you 340 over 11, which is 30.91, and remember this is now a percentage because we're timesing by 100%. In the second question, calculate the percentage decrease when 24.5 is increased. Sorry, it's actually percentage increase when 24.5 is increased to 48.3. You would do 48.3, take away 24.5, over 24.5, and then you would times by 100%. So we have 48.3, take away 24.5, divided by 24.5, and then you just times all of that by 100%. This gives you 97.14% as the percentage increase. Finally, Kelly has a gross income of £25,000 in her business. This is basically what she takes in before any losses. Her expenses are £8,000. Calculate her percentage profit. Now you might be unsure of what the original means in this question. Whenever we have percentage profit, the original is always considered to be the loss or the expenses. So here we can say that the percentage profit is going to be 25,000, take away 8,000 because that's her profit, all over 8,000, which is the expenses or the costs. We would then times all of this by 100%. So let's work that out. So we have 25,000, take away 8,000. So obviously 17,000. That goes over 8,000, and then we times the result of that by 100%, which would give you 212.5%. Here are some questions for you to try. Please pause the video now and have a go at them, and when you're ready for the answers, press play. Here are the answers.